Dress to Impress was once the most popular game on Roblox, amassing over 8 billion visitors, though the once incredibly popular game has suddenly died down in popularity, and it all started after the Lady Gaga update.
The category is Dress to Survive.
The developers spread many misleading posts claiming that you would be able to meet Lady Gaga at a virtual meet and greet. Now, of course, realistically, that is not possible in the slightest. But to the many young fans who were really excited for this, they were severely let down. Unfortunately, the hyped up meet and greet turned out to be an interview. Now, this likely would have blown over if one of the main developers weren't outed as a literal groomer. Yes, you heard me right. B-Plays, an ex-developer of Dress to Impress, was outed as a groomer. Some rather disgusting things were leaked online, and this caused her to be rightfully discharged from the Dress to Impress developer team. Dress to Impress had a lot of issues running around, between the questionable advertisement, the constant and growing bugginess of the game, and the downright, literally criminal actions of an ex-developer. Not to mention the introduction of a new thing called the Baddie Pass. Okay, so the fashion game now has a battle pass, and people are not happy about it. Now, on paper, I thought that the battle pass, baddie pass, whatever you call it, was a pretty nice idea, but then they get you. Then they get you. They make it absurdly hard to reach new levels the further you go down. Now, compared to other games that have battle passes, let's go with a really underground game called Fortnite. These games tend to be shooter-based, royale-based, not fashion-based, which Dress to Impress is, a competitive fashion game. You begin to see the problem when battle passes offer aesthetically pleasing items, and suddenly there's a bit of a wall behind the aesthetically pleasing items in the competitive fashion game that some people feel gives others an edge in the competition. Now, personally, I didn't feel very strongly about this. I figured you can make a nice outfit either way, you don't really need the items to win. But at the end of the day, the opinions will always vary. Now, there is one issue that I do definitely agree with the hate for, and that is the new currency item. Instead of using pink cash, the primary source of currency in Dress to Impress, to purchase new clothing items, you now have, seashells. No issue, really. It's a nice change of pace. Except the seashells are very difficult to obtain. And the items that you must have seashells to purchase, they're, pricey, really. Actually, so pricey that you are completely unable to purchase every single seashell item. Unless you grind your anus off. Which, be for real, nobody wants to do that. So of course, the typical 100k visitors quickly became 20k visitors. And the developer team obviously did not like that. Who would? So with Halloween being right around the corner, everyone was so highly anticipating the hottest comeback ever seen on a Roblox game. And with the trailers, we were fed. We were hands down fed. The new clothes looked absolutely amazing. The quality was off the charts. Everyone was literally pissing and crying and shaking. So you log on to the new update and... oh, how was that? What is the I Spy with my little eye, death and diabetes? So not only does Dress to Impress completely ignore the community's feedback, but they decide to make it 1,000 times worse. Not only does the dreaded baddie pass make a return, but now there's a big paywall sitting over what would be the VIP section. Now yes, it is only $5 US, but money is money and this is real money, and a feature that was once free is now not free, and now everybody is not happy. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. The developers have been labeled as selfish. So let's talk about the baddie pass issue now. I personally understand both sides of this issue. I completely understand why the community is so upset and angry, and a lot of them probably feel a bit cheated, really, and I can't blame them for that. But I do also understand the developers' perspective, as they do need their pay too, and of course they're not going to work for free. For many of them, this is their literal job. It's a bit of a no-brainer that there will be microtransactions in free-to-play games. Now, what I don't agree with is the way that they went about this microtransaction. The community did leave their feedback, and the developers chose not to listen. I personally think it would have been really cool to see a new system be implemented, maybe a tier system, honestly. Maybe you could move through mini tiers, kind of like you do with your typical model tiers. For example, new model, top model, you could move into mini tiers with this update, and for every tier you reach, you get a new item, and there will be another item alongside it that you have to pay to unlock, like a premium tier pass kind of thing. A one-time purchase, of course, not paying for every single item. You guys see the vision, right? I hope so. Now, one thing that I really think they did right was the new Robux set. This beautiful doll dress that I want so bad but don't want to spend my money on. No shade. I just really don't want to spend my money. But in my opinion, if this outfit is your cup of tea, the doll dress, I would 100% say it is worth your money. The premium baddie pass, on the other hand, is a bit lacking generally. Now, if you do fall in love with some of the items on there, then by all means you can get it if you want to. It's your wallet. But in my own personal opinion, it's just not exactly worth it. To summarize my feelings about the new baddie pass, in theory, I think the developers didn't have any harmful intent, though they really should have listened to the community. I also don't think the concept is terribly horrible, but once you put a paywall on something that was once free, of course a lot of people are going to have an issue with it, and I cannot blame them in the slightest. I know I sound very monkey in the middle, but I am more on the side of the community in this. I believe this was a pretty bad decision on their part, but I do understand why they did it. Moving on to the candy currency debacle. The shell currency, as I said earlier, was pretty terribly received, and we really expected them to maybe lean more into the pink cash. After all, it's the main currency in the game. A lot of people have quite a bit of excess, and of course, nobody is listened to. Not only is every single item requiring candy, but the candy is so much harder to obtain than seashells were. Look at my finished emo fit with the face tattoo. Back on the topic of candy, you cannot earn any candy by finishing a round or placing anywhere on podium, nor can you earn candy by playing Style Showdown or placing in the top 3. You can't run around and collect it at all. The only possible way to get candy is to finish all of your daily tasks, which unfortunately does not give you a lot, or paying 500 pink cash to Bob for apples and getting 10 candy back. And it's not even a guarantee. I 100% sympathize with the community and the sentiment that candy should not have really been a thing, especially after the seashells caused so much uproar. And by doubling down and making it this hard to obtain, and making every single new item only candy exclusive, that feels like a big slap in the face. I honestly see no reason why the developers felt the need to do this. Sure, it would have been okay if candy was included and maybe only a couple items were exclusive to it, but making every single item exclusive is just a no. It's a no-no. Which again leads me back to wondering why they did not listen to the community whatsoever. Don't get me wrong, it's their game and they have the say in the end. But that being said, they still have a player base. Criticism from the community shouldn't be unexpected if the community is left neglected. Now I'm going to go over a few rapid-fire complaints that I have seen echoed around the internet, first being the runway effects. When these were announced, the community was quite pissed, really. Many feeling like it was way too distracting, too brain rot-esque. And when the developers went on to say, and I quote, "For our IBS girlies," about the new poop reaction, People were not happy, and in this upcoming update, they decided to double down once again and add even more runway effects. Personally, I was a bit annoyed by the runway effects at first, but once they died down, it became much less of an issue, though I completely understand why the community is upset about this returning. Another issue is the bug increase. A lot of people are definitely not happy about that. Mobile users are reporting more issues with their textures not rendering, and a lot of people are definitely not happy because they are losing literal items in the game to a really strange bug that has been around for a month now. And I definitely think this needs to be fixed ASAP because it is making the game literally unplayable for a good chunk of people. Another issue I've seen is the new chest function. You used to be able to just tap them, but now you have to manually cycle through every single chest to find the clothing item you want. A lot of people say that it's inefficient and takes up way more time, and I unfortunately have to agree with that. I really wish they'd just bring back the buttons. I'm halfway through editing this and it's now come to my attention that they are currently hiding all criticism in their community. Wow. I want to disclaim that this is still alleged, but judging by the screenshots, said screenshots show someone in the community with their posts being removed, the reason being misinformation or impersonation, which I think the developers are trying to say they are spreading misinformation when it's actually just criticism. We don't know for sure if this is edited or not. It's all still alleged, but it's important to keep in mind. If true, this is going to make the situation 100 times worse than it already is. I understand that the developers are probably a bit upset with their work not being appreciated. I'd argue that a lot of people are actually quite happy with some of the work they have done. I've seen nothing but good things about the clothing that they've put out. Maybe a few people calling it boring, but again, that's the minority here really. They seem to be hyper-focusing on the criticism, and instead of trying to learn something from it, they are inherently deeming all criticism as bad and maliciously intended. Another brand new thing I would like to bring up though is their sudden collab with Wicked. I've seen a lot of mixed reactions so far. We're not exactly sure what it's going to entail. We've only seen the teaser. A lot of the community is very excited and a lot of them are a bit scared considering the Gaga incident. Personally, I don't see how this can fail. I'm expecting to see a few clothing items themed after the characters, maybe a few songs, and that's probably going to be it. I know they likely want to give their Halloween update time to shine, though I have seen a lot of people echo the statement that it seems tone deaf that they are announcing this with all of the drama currently running rampant in the community. Though collabs these big are usually planned ahead of time, I'm assuming the trailer was pre-scheduled and they just got really unlucky with the timing. This update has only been out for a few days. I believe I've covered everything so far, but in the comments you guys can tell me if there's anything I missed or don't know about. Also, feel free to leave your own opinions on this whole controversy and drama. I would love to see what you guys think about all of this. Thank you all for watching this video. Hope to see you guys next time, and goodbye.